Brightest day, and blackest night. No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's life.
Hey there, cats and kittens, and thanks for tuning in to this very special episode of the MonkeyBoy Presents, where I sort of give some final thoughts on the Blackest Night, Brightest Day sub-series collection that is now concluded, and talk about the figures that I wish they had included, a top 5 wish list, if you will. And I did love this series. I thought it was a great collection. If you're a fan of the Green Lantern series, you should try and get as many of these as you possibly can. There are some really great additions, like Jade. I thought was really awesome to finally have. Blue Lantern Saint Walker is one of my personal favorites. Hawk and Dove, which again, sort of, I don't understand why they're there, but I'm glad they were made. And it was a great way for DC and Eaglemoss to give us some core building figures, you know, some Red Lanterns, some Star Sapphire, even Indigo 1, which was really cool to have. It's a nice collection overall, some disappointing figures, but very cool, very nice that they covered every single color in the spectrum of the Lantern Corps. And with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and dive into my wish list. And this is going to focus primarily, well, exclusively on characters from Green Lantern and the Green Lantern Corps and the, whole color spectrum. I don't cover every color spectrum since I am only covering 5 figures that I wish had been included. And it's just sort of a what if this collection had continued on for just a few more issues. I also cover the one special edition figure I wish they had included in this as well. So it's sort of a top 6, I suppose, with the special edition being the 6th one, the one I talk about first. There's also an honorable mention figure at the very top. So, see, it's not a true top 5, it's more of a top 7, but it's a top 5 regular figures I wish were included, I suppose. So, please sit back, relax, and enjoy this special episode of the MonkeyBoy Presents My Top 5 Wish List for the Blackest Night, Brightest Day sub-series collection by Eaglemoss. We'll start off with the honorable mention. I know, I've griped about this every single time I've spoken about Parallax, so this will be the last time, I promise. I like the figure that they gave us with Hal Jordan as Parallax. I just wish that he had been made into a special edition and we had this version of Parallax, the true embodiment of fear, the entity of fear. I think it would have been neat to have him as this big translucent piece. He could have even been plastic or resin, and I would have been okay with that because I feel this is how he should have been represented in the collection. Am I disappointed with Hal Jordan as Parallax? No, I'm not really. It's cool. I just wish that this was the Parallax we had been given, which is why I chose him as my honorable mention. My most wanted special edition figure. Brother Worth, another one of my favorite characters from the Green Lantern comic books, another Blue Lantern, and what a great choice he would have been for a special edition. He's huge, he has such a fantastic look to him with all sorts of Hindu influences. I love the fact that he's this peaceful, gentle giant, and the elephantine qualities of his design are just fantastic. I think Brother Worth would have been the perfect choice had they decided to do one more special edition in this collection. Now on to my top 5 figures I wish had been included in this collection. Number 5. Starting it off with another female hero, and I just chose her because I love the Star Sapphires. I think it would have been neat to have another one in this collection to have next to Carol Ferris, and this is one of Jon Stewart's love interests, so it would have been cool to give Jon Stewart his girlfriend, much the same way Hal Jordan has Carol Ferris for the collection. Plus, she's just a great character from the comic books, too. And for those reasons and many more, that's why Fatality was my choice for number 5. Number 4. For me, Arquillo is one of the most recognizable members of the Sinestro Corps, and he's the antithesis of Kilowog from the Green Lantern Corps. This guy here, Arquillo, is the drill instructor for the Sinestro Corps. He would have looked great on the shelf. He would have been a borderline special edition figure. You could have even made him a special edition, I suppose, although I would have included him as a regular figure in the series. Just make him a little bigger than normal. It would have looked awesome on the shelf, I'm sure, with that bright yellow and black costume. Mean, nasty, tough. Arquillo would have been a great addition to this line. Number 3. Oh, Dexstar. I love Dexstar. He looks mean and nasty, but he's just a sweet kitty that got hurt, and now he's full of rage and hatred. But I love Dexstar. He would have been a great figure to include in this series. I'm a bleeding heart for cats and dogs, what can I say? He would have been awesome to have on the shelf. He would have been a smaller figure, but a cool figure to include. They could have had him flying around on a base made out of that red bloody plasma that they spew from their mouths. His ring is on his tail. And it would have been a great chance for Eaglemoss and DC to include a very unique character, a unique figure, and one of my personal favorites. Number 2. Another Green Lantern, I know. However, the Green Lantern to have in this collection. Not only is he mentioned in practically every single one of the magazines that came out with this collection, he is one of the all-stars in the comic books now. He's also known as Ion, a title that was once held by Kyle Rayner. This guy, in a possible future of the DC, is even the sole survivor of the Green Lantern Corps at one point, and decides to rebuild the Corps much the same way that Kyle Rayner once did. He would have been neat to include for the sole reason that he's just mentioned so much in all of the magazines that came with these figures. It seems a shame that he wasn't somehow included, and I think he would have been a nice addition to this collection had it gone on for a few more issues. Number 1. Oh, Obsidian. Forced to fade away into the shadows and not be included in this collection. It's a shame, really. I remember back from my review of Dove, I mentioned how I was so happy they made her because they don't always finish these things, and Obsidian is the perfect example of that. They gave us Jade with this collection. We even have Alan Scott, the Golden Age Green Lantern, in the regular collection, and we never got an Obsidian. And when I saw Jade in this set, I thought for sure we'd get an Obsidian figure down the road. And when it never happened, when it was never announced, I was so disappointed. There are a couple of figures in this set that I would have gladly sacrificed to have an Obsidian figure. It just doesn't seem right because he was a pretty big part of the Blackest Night, Brightest Day, and a major part of Green Lantern's mythos, story, heritage, whatever you want to call it. So he is my number 1 pick for the figure I most wish they would have included in this collection had it gone on for just a little while longer. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, my top 5 figures, characters I wish had been included in the Blackest Night, Brightest Day sub-series collection by Eaglemoss. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of other great characters that I wish had been included as well, but I just wanted to keep it short and sweet with a top 5 and my 1 special edition too there, Brother Worth. But let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with my choices? Do you disagree? Tell me who you would have included in the talkback section here below. Make some comments. What characters would you like to have seen? Another Indigo Tribe member, perhaps, or another member of the Red Lantern Corps. There are some great characters to come out of the Blackest Night, Brightest Day and the Sinestro Corps Wars, and I'm sure you'll be able to mention a few that I either didn't think of or didn't list here. Don't forget to check out my other videos, including the reviews from the regular DC Comics superhero collection by Eaglemoss, which is still ongoing. There are quite a few issues left of that, and when that finishes, I'll do a similar thing with that. I'll do a top... I haven't decided how many yet. Let me know how many you think I should do, I guess. I'm thinking 15, maybe 20, and some special editions as well, maybe a top 5 special editions I wish they had done for the regular collection, but we'll get to that when we get to that. As always, I'm your host, the Monkey Boy, aka Jay to his friends. Thank you very much for watching.